Hello everyone, my name is Ganaa. Thank you for being on time. I won't take up more than 10 minutes of your time, and there will be time at the end of the presentation to answer your questions, so please feel free to ask me anything then. Thank you again. Today's topic is anorexia. Have you ever heard about it before? Did you know that anorexia? Before we will start our presentation, I would like to show you the short movie trailer about anorexia. After that, I hope you can get some information about it. Okay, let me show. What happened to this woman? What do you think about it? Yes, eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, yes, it is correct. According to the last news, she was just 40 pounds at 37 years old in 2015. We will go into details later, such as reasons, science, prevention, and treatment, something like that. My talk is divided into 6 parts: introduction, symptoms, causes, risk factors, complications, and treatment. Actually, my purpose of this presentation is I would like to give you the full information about this nervosa eating disorder named anorexia. So first of all, I'm going to give you a definition that an eating disorder resulted from fearing to gain weight. By the end of this presentation, you will know about anorexia very well, how to control their weight, who get anorexia, the ways are restricting food intake, control calorie intake, vomiting, abusing other substances, and exercising excessively. Okay, second part of my presentation is about symptoms. There are mainly 3 kinds of symptoms: physical, behavioral, and emotional. You can see from this slide physical signs. This is related to starvation. Skin becomes yellow and dry, brain pain caused by insomnia, dizziness and nausea, hair becomes thin, falls out, and downy hair covering the body. Also osteoporosis, etc. Okay, next slide, please. I'll tell you in detail shortly. Behavioral symptoms may include attempts to lose weight by severely restricting food, exercising excessively, weight gain, and self-induced vomiting to get rid of food, which may include the use of laxatives, enemas, diet aids, or herbal products. That brings me to last point in this part. Emotional symptoms, issues involving an unrealistic perception of body weight and extremely strong fear of gaining weight or becoming fat. So this is also difficult science because consequences of emotional and behavioral symptoms affect to the self-health, psychology, and other people as negative, such as lying, irritability, depressed mood, fear, and social withdrawal, like not wanting to eat in the public. Unfortunately, the exact reason of anorexia is unknown still now. It is probably a combination of many diseases: biological, psychological, and social. I think I need to talk more about it. Biological cause not yet clear, which genes are involved. Maybe there are genetic changes. Some people may have genetic tendency toward perfectionism, sensitivity, and perseverance. Psychological cause that few people may have obsessive compulsive personality traits. That means make it easier to strict diets and forgo food despite being hungry. On the other hand, they may have an extreme drive for perfectionism, which causes them to think they are never thin enough. Social causes related to changes of living condition, environment, surroundings, and social attitudes traits. In this part, I'm going to speaking about some important facts. This figure shows that patients separated by genders who get anorexia yearly. Did you know that anorexia is more common in girls and women? However, boys and men have an increasingly developed eating disorder. Let me show you the next slide. Statistics shows that anorexia is also more common in teenagers. Have you ever wondered why it is more? Because of all the changes their bodies go through during puberty. They may also face increased peer pressure and be more sensitive to criticism about weight or body shape. Well, let's move on to the next point. This part divided three aspects: genetic diet, starvation factors, and transitions. Risk factors more related to causes of anorexia. For example, in genetic factors, changes in specific genes may put certain people at higher risk of anorexia. Those with first-degree relative, a parent, sibling, or child who had the disorder have much higher risk of anorexia. I don't think that I should describe this part in detail because they are included in the handout clearly. Let's go through the next point very rapidly. I know that time is short, so I intend to keep it this briefly. Then in the fifth point about complications of anorexia, this part generally related to second part, that symptoms. You can see in this slide numerous complications. In addition to the host of the physical complications, people with anorexia also commonly have other mental health disorders as well, including alcohol and substance misuse, suicide attempts, compulsory disorder, etc. Now I want to turn to the last part of my presentation. There's no guaranteed way to prevent anorexia. Primary care physicians and psychologists make good position to identify early of anorexia, then give some advices. Then he or she have to recognize and admit his or her current situation and get the faith to return to normal eating habits who get anorexia. However, in fact, only 1 in 10 people with anorexia receive treatment. In my view, this is most important way. I hope I managed to give you a clear picture of anorexia. Finally, I want to mention about it that you notice that a family member or friend has low self-esteem, severe dieting habits, and dissatisfaction with appearance. Consider talking to him or her about these issues. Although you may not able to prevent an eating disorder from developing, you can talk about healthier behavior or treatment options. Please feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you for your attention. Let's break for coffee until next presentations. Please ask any questions if you have.